This is Woodified. You are watching part 2 of building a privacy fence. In part 1, I installed the rails. In this video, I show you the tips and tricks that I used to install the boards. Lots and lots of boards. So before you would have installed the rails, you would have marked the top of your fence. And I did this by holding the 6-foot board up to the fence where I wanted it to go, so just however high off the ground, and I marked every post, the top of every post, and then I ran a string line. And you can see I have a little 2x4 that holds a string line out, so when you put the boards in place, you put it up until it just touches the string line. Each board gets 6 screws. It's 2 screws in each rail, and it took a lot of screws. For the screws, I'm using 1.5" deck screws, and they are number 8 Robinson. Two tricks for you. What I did is every so often I'd stop and I'd measure both the top and at the bottom of the boards. I'd measure back maybe 5-6 boards just to make sure I still had the same measurement. Then I knew that they were coming on straight. The other tip is every once in a while I got out my 4-foot level and just made sure I was still level. For the boards, if you veer off and you're not level, you can, when you do your spacing, you can move them a little bit at each time, and over a couple boards you can make up the difference. So some things I found very helpful. The tool belt was a must. Keeps all the screws handy. The impact driver, again, you can put that on your tool belt. I bought this impact driver just for this project alone. This is my first impact driver, and I found it works much better than the other battery-powered drills. This impact driver came with 2 batteries, and I found that very helpful. When one battery died, I'd put it on the charger, and before I drained the other battery, the battery was charged again, so I constantly had a charged battery. Along some posts I had to cut out a notch. You can see the board, the last board that I put on the fence, I just put it flush up, and what I did is I cut the top of the board off when I cut the post later on. But for the most part, I just, to cut these notches, I used a handsaw. I found it was a lot easier because it was only every maybe second post that I had to cut a little notch out, and instead of dragging the extension cord around in the power tool, the handsaw was much more portable, and it doesn't take any time at all to make the cuts. When you get to the corner, you want to have a full board at the corner, and then you will rip one if you need to fit the gap in between. So here I'm just putting a screw in the top, and then I'll check for level to make sure the end board is on there straight, and then I'll fill in the gap. I could fit one more full board, and then I had to rip the width of another board and fit that in place. If you haven't watched part 1, I'll put a link down in the description so you can watch part 1 of building this privacy fence. If you found this video helpful, please help me by clicking the thumbs up button. For more woodworking project videos, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.